the best of the week on Relevant Radio.
All right, well, let us go to the big book on the coffee table. All right. Let's talk briefly about the first reading. The flood. Did the flood really happen? And did Moses get all those animals into the ark? You know, I saw a movie on it when I was a kid, and the ark was this huge thing, and I went and saw this exhibit, and there most certainly was a flood. It is almost universally reported in ancient stories of different cultures, and we have the story of the flood from Babylonian literature. There's some theories that the Black Sea, is today the Black Sea, was a habited zone, and the dam keeping the Mediterranean out of the Black Sea broke one day, and poof, it filled in suddenly all at once. I don't know. I wasn't there. But once again, the stories of Genesis, these first chapters of the book of Genesis, don't explain so much how and what happened. It explains why they happened. What is the meaning in these events that were universally recognized in the ancient world? The Lord saw how great was man's wickedness on earth. Now, by earth, we mean that round thing floating around the sun that takes 365 days to make. No, that's not what they didn't think. There was no earth as in the ancient world as we conceive of it. God speaks in human language, and his poetry is in human language so that we can understand it. There was no planet Earth in the ancient world. There was the earth, and the word in Hebrew, I believe this word is Eretz, which can mean the land. So, and I know it's going to be Ki Rabba Ra'at Adam Be'eretz. I was right. It's Be'eretz. I just had to look it up. I don't want to tell you anything that I really don't believe is so.
You are correct, sir. Yes.
All right. Eretz. Eretz means the land. It means the earth. It means the country. When a Jew talks about the Eretz, he's meaning Eretz Israel, the land of Israel. So the point I'm trying to make here, which is always a good thing to figure out, they didn't have an earth. There was no earth. There was Eretz. There was the land. So he decided the wickedness on the land. What land? Well, this particular land where they were living. And he regretted that he had made man on the land, and his heart was grieved. Now that's interesting right there, that we read in the New Testament about do not grieve the Holy Spirit. This is a very, very difficult thing. Can God be sorry? Yes. God can be sorry. We can grieve the Holy Spirit, who is God. God was grieved in this, and he said, I will wipe out from the earth the men whom I have created, but also the beasts and the creeping things and the birds of the air. For I'm sorry that can God, this is the amazing thing about God, that he chooses to be grieved. He allows himself to be grieved. And the Stoics and the Epicureans, the philosophers of Rome and Greece, believed that God was absolutely incapable, and there's the word, that God was incapable of emotion. God, who created my emotions, is quite capable of what we think of as emotion, but our emotions are just a dim reflection of the great truth of God. When God grieves, it's a matter not just of his feelings, but of truth. So, moving along, go into the ark, and you and all your household. All right, and every clean animal, take 7 pairs, and every unclean. This is way before Sinai, but he's talking about clean and unclean animals. Thus you will keep their issue alive over all the earth. 7 days from now I will bring down rain on the earth. In other words, in a week. And this is hearkening back to creation. God in this story is recreating the world. Remember, at the beginning of Genesis, the Spirit hovered over the waters. Waters were a symbol of chaos. Chaos is the opposite of logos. Logos is the opposite of chaos. Chaos is without order. Logos is perfect order. And Jesus is, of course, the Logos. When you use the word Logos, it's usually translated word. In the beginning was the Word was with God. That's not what Logos really means. Logos is the principle of order and truth and reason. You look at a Greek dictionary of classical Greek and you look up the word Logos, Logos, it goes on and on for pages of fine print. So this 7 days and the water hint back to creation. He is recreating the earth. It's estimated that all life on earth has been nearly wiped out about 5 times in the great extinctions. And we may be going through the 6th great extinction. Species are dying out. And I don't want to sound too ecological, but species are dying out at an unprecedented rate in our times. So this sort of thing happens, that God sort of starts from scratch. In the historical record, he seems to have done it 5 times. Again, I wasn't there. So that's what's going on here. The clean animals, in other words, animals that can be eaten and can be sacrificed, you got 7 pairs. The unclean animals, the ones that you can't eat and sacrifice, those you only got 1 pair.
Like what you just heard? Share it with your family and friends, and thanks for listening.